Start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we played a really good basketball game. I was very proud of our guys. I thought we hung tough and a little bit of adversity. We had a couple injuries with Eddie going down. I thought that hurt our defense in particular. But you give Miami credit. We couldn't stop them in the second half for the most part. And I think that was the difference in the game. They just got what they wanted. And but I was proud of what we did and how hard we worked and competed really hard and played smart. And fortunately, to beat a team like Miami, you got to play great. We didn't make foul shots and turn the ball over a little bit in key spots. But besides that, I was extremely proud of our effort.
Okay, questions, again, raise your hand. Let us know who you are, who you're with, and please address questions to a specific player. First question to our left.
Damian Sorlet with the Lynchburg News and Advance. This is for Coach Donahue. How pleased are with the way your team ended this season, especially in the regular season, then overcoming that deficit yesterday and then overcoming a deficit today to play with Miami and be tied with 3 minutes to go?
I think when I take a step back, I'll be extremely pleased and proud of our development this year. These guys have done a tremendous job of working through a lot of things, and basically our core group are all our scholarship players. Eight scholarship players are freshmen and sophomores, and I just thought we did an incredible job over the last month and a half of really starting to play and believe and compete, and I'm very excited for the future. It's hard to say that now after you go through such a excruciating loss when it was there for us. We want to play tomorrow and be in the Final Four in this league. But honestly, I'm extremely pleased with the development of our program.
Tom Welborn, WBFT Television in Sanford. Coach, I mean, your kids played nose to nose with the number one seed. How did it get away from you in the end?
I think the last 3 minutes, it was basically a 3-minute game. And for us, things have to go right. We got to make foul shots, and we didn't do that. I think, it's one of the things we pride ourselves on is being at the line and taking the 2 points and going down the other end. That didn't happen a few times. But I also thought in that 3-minute game, we just didn't execute. We did a poor job. I said to these guys, winners want the truth. That's the truth. We didn't, you can spin it any way you want, but if you want to win that basketball game, you got to execute better, and we didn't, and they did.
Back of the room.
I was going to ask, was that sort of an example of sort of another step or a next step in the progression, sort of the ability to finish games? And Miami's obviously a team that's mature, and they finished, I think the run was 14-3 to end it. That's just kind of how it works sometimes.
I think, unfortunately, and I said this in the locker room to the guys, to get where you want to get to, I think you're gonna have to do these excruciating, frustrating failures to figure out how to get better. And we've done an incredible job in tight games. We had so many tight games this year, more than my 13 years combined in my coaching career just in this year. So they had a ton of that. And I don't necessarily think it was inexperience. I give Miami credit. I think they really guarded well, and we didn't do a great job for a stretch there. And I honestly didn't feel good going down the stretch because we played really well for about 20 minutes there, and over the last 7 or 8, just didn't seem like we had that same execution going.
Front left.
Dan Collins, Winston-Salem Journal. I'd like to ask the players, Ryan and Olivier, what do you think were the determining factors in the last 3 minutes?
Olivier?
The last 3 minutes, I think we just had mental breakdowns. I had that one turnover and that other possession on defense when I was supposed to switch out on, I think, Shane Larkins, and I kind of messed up on that. So I just, like I said in other interviews, just the little things make us hurt us.
Ryan?
Yeah, I think it was just the mental breakdowns that we had at the end of the game. I don't know if it was fatigue or what it was, but Like you said, we messed up on defensive rotations, and we messed up on little things like catching the ball in the paint and finishing out plays and making free throws. So there's just a lot of the mental side of the game that they beat us on at the end.
Back of the room.
Ryan, and you just mentioned it too. There were two plays. Obviously, there were catches in the paint, and you it looked on your face like you knew that those were big possessions. Like, how important did you? I mean, with the game being that close, how important did you know those possessions were?
Yeah, I thought I did a good job of making plays when I caught the ball the whole game, and then the two key ones at the end, the one that slipped out on the layup, and then I didn't go get the ball. Those are two little things that we pride ourselves on in practice, is going to get the ball and going up strong with it. I just didn't do those on those last two plays, and those were key points when the momentum kind of turned down the stretch.
Just these two. Steve, can you sort of explain the stretches when Odio and Patrick, obviously it was an arm, and I want to say I'm not even sure what happened to Odio. Maybe he hit his head. And can you kind of explain? Did you feel like there was a emphasis on you after obviously yesterday?
Ooh. What was the question again? After that,
Emphasis on you after the performance you had yesterday. Clearly,
I was out there just trying to make plays. Miami did a terrific job on me, just pressuring me and denying me. So I kind of had a hard time, and I could have done a lot more today, but I had a bad game. So
I don't think he had a bad game. I think that's pretty great humility on his part. I thought he got his average. He shot a good percentage. Thought he did a terrific job in a lot of aspects. And then the play he's referring to, no one in this room knew that it was his responsibility to get out to Sheen. You didn't have to mention that. I was very proud of. It's very difficult to come back from that type of performance and not expect one of the best defensive teams in the country to put you on lockdown. I thought he handled it well. I thought we played off it well. The last couple of minutes of execution is why they're really good and why we're trying to get there.
Front row.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I didn't mention Eddie's ankle. Eddie's been a real difference to us, I thought, over the last month and a half, in particular on the defensive end. He gives us easy buckets on the offensive end, but he's also someone that we could switch out easily, and that's why we're switching a lot of Larkin's ball screens, because Eddie was the guy doing it. When we don't have him, I thought it was very difficult. We lost a couple in transition with having our two bigs out there, and then obviously we went small at times as well. And I just thought, would have loved to have him healthy the whole game.
Steve, when it was 57-55 late, you called timeout. What did you set up and want to happen? And then Olivier, what did happen when they trapped you there near midcourt?
Well, we knew they were going to trap. And we just, if you saw, I thought we did a pretty good job of what we call pocket passes. Thought they were taking that away, so I think we were trying to go what we call a Butler action, just quick reversal out of the trap. And I think Shane and the other defender did a better job and got in at that point. That's what we're talking about. We execute it. We kind of wanted that trap to get it out of there, and then we have four shooters around, and we spread it out, and we get a good look.
like we said, we were trying to get the Butler. So when I came off the screen, they kind of did a good job just trapping me, and I was not strong with the ball enough. So I turned it over. So that was the play.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
ladies first. Well, that was easy. I'm sorry. I'm not too good with technology either. But it's a terrific win for us. Boston College is a very difficult team for us to match up with. We're kind of big with Kenny Kaji and Julian Gamble, Reggie Johnson, Tanya Jakiri, and they're kind of smaller and skilled, and they spread you out and share the ball about as good as any team in the country. And we knew we would be in for a dogfight. We had a hard time guarding it even in practice yesterday. But thank goodness we were able to go small in the last 5 minutes. And we don't have a lot of perimeter subs, so we couldn't have done it early, even though we know that's probably the best way to guard them with 4 perimeter players and a big guy, 1 big guy. And we were able to do that in the last 5 minutes and pull away and get a nice win and move on to the semifinals.
Questions?
Damian Sorlett, Lynchburg News and Advance. Coach, you were talking about the last 5 minutes, specifically the last 3, outscore them 14-3 and limit them to 1 field goal. Talk about the defense in the last 3 minutes and what you're able to do to really negate what they wanted to do, and as you said, use your perimeter defense to make plays and get some baskets.
Well, the whole key in guarding Boston College, they do such a great job with ball screens and then hitting the roll man and then him either scoring or finding another open man. And when you're bigger, you're a little slower in your rotation. So the last 5 minutes, we went to the small lineup, and we switched most of them so there's no open man. We trapped with our big guy to kind of be the aggressor at the defensive end of the floor, and both of those things worked at that time of the game.
To our left.
Dan Collins, the Winston-Salem Journal. This is for Shane. If your team's going to play 8 really, really good minutes of basketball, how important of it is for 5 of those to be the start of the game and 3 of them to be the finish of the game?
We want to play 40 good minutes of basketball, but you always want to close the game good. And tonight we did a good job. We beat them 14-3 in the end of the game, and we have a lot of seniors and we have a lot of experience, so we didn't wilter. We stayed together. Coach brought us in. It was like 3 minutes, just pull together right now and play good defense, and we did. And I think he said they only had 1 more field goal the rest of the game. So defense is what's going to win us this championship, and if we really lock in, I think we have a pretty good chance.
Front row.
Daniel Gilman, WQAM. What specifically did you guys do to hold Hanlon to only 5 baskets?
Well, I'd say the first thing is we have 2 of the best perimeter defenders in the league. Durant Scott was the Defensive Player of the Year, and Shane was second in the vote getting. And they take great pride in their defense. You know, they're great competitors. They love the challenge. They obviously watched the game yesterday and saw Olivier Hanlon set an ACC record for a freshman with 41 points, and that motivates them. They like those kind of challenges. But you can't do it by yourself because Olivier gets a lot of screens, so you need your teammates to help you. And the guys did a pretty darn good job of that tonight.
Miami Herald. Shane, was there any point during the game where you thought, uh-oh, this could be it, this could be a short run? Or what kept you going even when the momentum shifted?
My teammates were very encouraging. We just stayed together. We never, when something goes bad, we don't get down on ourselves. We're always positive, trying to encourage each other. And it's easy to get down on yourself. We were up 13 points, I think 21-8, and they came back and tied it up 23-23. We could have easily got down on ourselves and start yelling at each other and fussing between teammates, but we just stuck together as a team, and that's something our seniors have really taught us over the year. Just to stay together, and Coach L's preached all year. Together is the last thing we say in every huddle. So we just stay together as a team, and if we do that and we don't get down on ourselves and we don't let something affect us for a long period of time, we're a great team, and we didn't let that affect us tonight.
Questions for Duran, too, please.
Sorry, I heard a question for Shane. But Shane, the last 3 minutes there in that stretch, you had a couple big plays. There was a big 3 and a steal, I think. Did you feel some kind of responsibility to show some leadership, take over, and make some plays to get that separation?
Yeah, I wanted to make a big big play for the team, and it actually wasn't just me who got the steal. We trapped. Kenny did a great job of trapping the ball screen, and Hanlon jumped in the air. I jumped with him. I got a hand on the ball, and we do a drill every day at practice of saving the ball. And Ryan Brown came out of nowhere with great effort, and he dove out of bounds and saved the ball to Kenny. And then I think we came down and got another basket. So that was a huge play for all of us. Kenny and Ryan had a big part in that too. So it wasn't just me; it was my teammates. And we all did a great job down the stretch. The three was created off of Durant Scott looking off the defender, and Trey cutting hard off the play that we ran. So it was just everybody taking part in that, and the three was pretty much a wide open shot. So I just had to get to the spot. So it was my teammates doing a great job of running the play, and all props to my teammates.
I'd like to ask Durant and Shane the question that Coach Larinaga addressed earlier of the challenge of taking on Hanlon and the motivation there. Both of you, please.
Well, we know, like Coach said, he did a great job yesterday of scoring 41 points. So we put a bit more focus on him than anybody else because we knew we couldn't let him come in and have a good start and get his team going. So the assignment was for Shane, but like Coach said, it's a team effort. And I think Shane did a great job individually, and we just helped as much as we could to hold them to the least amount of points we could.
Yeah, what D. Scott said, it was a team effort. They set a lot of ball screens for him, and in the scouting report, we know that he likes to refuse a lot of the ball screens, so I was just trying to make him use a ball screen, and we did a great job in hedging and trapping or whatever we were doing on that possession. So it was a team effort, 41 points yesterday, 14 today. So it was a great team effort. He's a great player, and I'm glad we just could hold him to what we held him to today.
Back of the room.
Durant, you've had some very good performances in this tournament, but always in an underdog role. How is it different going forward as a favorite?
I don't know. This is not a one-man sport, so I don't look into trying to do as good as I did in previous years or try to match anything. I'm just trying to win a tournament and do whatever it takes to win this tournament. So right now, I know one thing I can definitely do 100% of, and that's playing defense. And that's what I'm gonna put my heart on the line for, and just try to help my teammate as much as I can on defensive end, and just try to motivate them to just play better. And I think I did the best of my ability tonight, and I think that's part of us getting a W.
Yeah, Coach, I'm sorry if I repeat any questions that have been asked before, but just looked like they went to a matchup zone at the end of the first half that kind of threw you out of your rhythm. And what was the key to getting back into your rhythm in the second half?
Halftime. What happened is they started out man-to-man, and we were really playing well and sharing the ball, getting the ball inside, outside, running on fast breaks, and doing a great job defensively. I think they only had 2 or 4 points in that first 5 or 7 minutes. We got a commanding lead, got it up to 13. They switched to the three-quarter court press and the 2-3 zone, and we got a little passive. You know, we didn't turn the ball over, which was good, but we also didn't attack the way we wanted to. And at halftime, we just made the adjustment of putting Kenny Kaji in the high post, telling Shane and Durant, you know, once you cross midcourt, get us quicker into the offensive set and attack more off the dribble. And both guys did that. Shane was able to get some threes that way, and Durant was able to get to the basket a couple of times as well. So they found Julian Gamble inside early, then Kenny got a basket, and then Trey McKinney-Jones hit an opportunity three. It was not like a play or anything, but the ball bounced loose to him. So we shot the ball great in the second half, almost 70%.
We have 3 more questions, and I know who you are. First one to our left.
Tom Welborn, WBFT. Coach, not to be redundant, but I wanted to get your take. It was a 2-point game with a couple of minutes to go. Just talk about those back-to-back steals and how huge that was.
Well, one of the problems with, I'm sorry, that was one of my players. One of the problems you have defensively when you have guys who are very, very quick is they'll often look for steals and then miss. They'll gamble and compromise your defense, and you end up giving up easy baskets. And we did that a couple of games ago, and it really hurt us. But tonight we stuck with fundamental defense, and then we got the steals off of the traps when we are organized to look for steals. And Shane and Kenny did a great job of double teaming the ball and making it hard on Olivier Hanlon. And when you do a good job of trapping a ball handler and your three men who are not in the trap are really active in anticipating what the next pass might be, it works much better. And that's part of our scramble defense, and we work on it regularly.
To our left.
Durand, just wondering that second half, they go up 4. They answer everything, and you guys keep making. How frustrating did you get out there when they seem to just answer everything?
It was definitely frustrating because I knew my team just wanted the game really bad, but I was trying to just preach to them that it's not going to come to us. We have to go out there and do it. They're not just going to miss shots and just miss layups and things like that. We just have to go out there and play as hard as we can and make stops on the defensive end and then push the ball and try to get good shots on the offensive end. So I think my team did a pretty good job of that. It was one point I just tried to motivate them, just have everybody talking on the defensive end. And I think that's sparked the trigger on everybody, and that's what got us rolling, and we didn't look back from then.
Front row.
Coach, I just want to ask you, Shane had 10 points in the first 10 minutes of the second half, back-to-back driving layups and then the three-pointer. Can you talk about how important he is to this team and in moments like that where the game is so close and he always seems to do something to put the team ahead and get them fired up?
Well, I think everybody knows that we have 5 seniors. They're basically like 5 starters, and they do a fantastic job together. But by adding Shane to that group, he adds an element that allows all of them to play better. And he's so good at what he does. So a lot of times you'll see him in the first half try to get the ball to Kenny or Durand or Trey or Ryan. And then in the second half, he starts to pick his spots to attack and score or find the open man. And we absolutely needed that because I thought in the first half we were settling for basically perimeter shots, and we needed a little more balance. So we told both Shane and Durand to attack more off the dribble and get to the basket, and he did that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.